This is a message for all of my new earth leaders, all of my humans out here who feel that they have a bigger purpose on this earth, who are ready to manifest the life of their dreams and live a life from conscious expansion and really just powerful love. And truly, I believe that if you are here, you are going to live an epic life. You are meant to expand into greater amounts of love than you can even imagine. And in this video, we're going to talk really about how to embody that new earth frequency, how to really expand into more love, and what to do to get there, and what things to just kind of be aware of. So yeah, there's going to be some juicy things in this video, so get ready. And if you're new, my name is Katie. Welcome to the video. If you enjoy this, definitely share with somebody. Would love for your support. And yeah, we're going to jump straight into it as always. So truly, when I say, amplify that new earth frequency, that new earth energy, what is that? Well, it's love. Love is really why we're here. I'm sure you're aware, we are here anchoring higher frequencies into the earth, helping our earth really return to that powerful frequency of love, because we've been living in a dense world that has been controlling us, putting fear in our minds, and causing us to sift through and go through a lot of pain in our life. But however, I see it, and I'm going to go more into this, but I see it as like, this is the capacity that we currently have as humans to love. Yet us light leaders, us light workers, new earth leaders, whoever you are watching this, we are expanding into greater amounts of love. Our human, though, tends to want to stay in here. It's like, oh, it's capped. This relationship I found, it's like, it almost checks all the boxes, but not all of them, but I'm going to stay here because it's comfortable. Whereas you out here, you're like, no, I think I'm here for more. I need to expand. I need to find someone greater, whether it's in love, it's a career, it's what you're meant to be doing. You're expanding your heart open. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Whereas most people, and you've probably seen this, people that settle for the mundane, settle for their mediocre jobs, is there in here. They're like, I'm pretty satisfied. Like, it's fine. But like us out here, we realize there's so much more to life. We realize that we want an epic life. We want to live our dreams. We want to make an impact. And through that, we got to expand. And through that expansion, it's beautiful, but it's also a little messy. And I'm going to explain another diagram of how that looks. But this is really what's happening. We're expanding into greater amounts of love. Our human being, our meat suit, our DNA is learning how to hold greater amounts of love, the frequency of love, because it's been capped for a bit. So we need to learn how to like expand that so we can really live in the 5D. And the 5D is so much love, harmony, peace, joy, really, really high frequencies. But in order to get to that high of a frequency, we've got to expand. And so what that kind of looks like, during this expansion phase, as I'm sure you've experienced in your life, gone through your own trials and tribulations and pain and stuff. I see it as like, in life, we go through emotions. Like I said, we experience our pain. It's almost like you're in a car. Now, this is my beautiful car here. Apologies. Oh my God. This is like you in the car here, and you are just driving through, you're in the front seat of your life. You're just driving down the road, and there's actually what happens whenever you enter phases of darkness or emotions or pain, or just like, trial times, is that a word? There's a snowstorm that appears. And so you're on this road trip of life, and then there's a massive snowstorm that starts to come, and you're like, oh shit, I can't really see that well, like windshield wipers, and you're like hands on the wheel because you're trying to like hold on for dear life. And these are like your emotions. These are like the roadblocks thrown at you in life. You might like stumble upon some icy patches, and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck's happening? And you're like terrified that you don't have control of your life. So that's kind of like one example. But basically this is actually a beautiful depiction of like the best thing that you can do in life when you're going through these times is think of yourself as the driver's seat in this snowstorm on the road, and there's icy patches. You are holding on for dear life to the steering wheel. You might slow down a bit, like you're taking your time because it's a crazy snowstorm. So you're taking a slow time. You might have to pull over off the road to take a little breather, take a break, and be like, all right, let's wait for the storm to calm down a bit till you get back on the road and go, and the snowstorm starts to clear. And that's kind of how I see you sifting through emotions and through dark times, is like, imagine yourself as this person. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to hold on tight. Not hold on in control, but I mean like really, really stay clear in like your direction and focus with where you're going, but trusting that like you might have to pull over a few times and take a rest, a breather for a month or two. You might have to like really, really slow down and understand that like this storm has to pass first before you can step into into more of your mission or more love, if that makes sense. So where I am going with this is essentially we are here to transmute energy, transmute through our emotions, through the painful moments, through the snowstorms. And so when you're in these moments, know that like they will pass, and trust that they will pass, and they are a part of your purpose. And it's not to sit in them forever. It's not to think that the storm is going to be there for months on end. It's going to pass, but it's to remember that like you have the power to transmute through that. And again, pull over if you need to. And when I say pull over, what I really mean in your life is like take time if you need to like go off social media, like do your thing, rest, like get away from the world for however long you need, and then get back on the road. Like get back on the road and start going on your mission and in that direction, and take bigger steps. Or what another example of this is like, let's say you were heartbroken or you went through a relationship breakup and you know, feel that you need to cry for months on end, and you're like not getting anything done, you're not making any direction in your life, or not moving forward in your life. It's like, remember that you are here to feel, but then it's like, get back on the horse and like freaking go and step back into love. And again, where I'm going with this, with the whole love analogy, is that this is you. And as you experience, let's say heartbreak, let's say like you lost your job, let's say whatever happened in your life, it's gonna feel shattering. It's gonna break your heart, and it's gonna be hard. But like, it's in those moments to remember that that is probably crafting you into so much of a more powerful like human who has gone through the trenches. That way you are going to expand into more love. And so I guess an example of that is like, for myself, for example, I have been with someone where like I loved them deeply and there were so many boxes checked, but this part of me felt like there's more. I need more. There's somebody else out there for me. And breaking that person's heart, breaking my heart, was so freaking painful. But I had to leave this zone and I had to expand, knowing that like this is gonna be hard. This area feels like you're shattering ice at the moment when it's happening, but you're expanding into greater amounts of love to hold more love, knowing that there's another beautiful human coming in for you, or in my case, for myself. And so again, that happens with so many things. And so I guess going back to that is knowing that expanding into greater amounts of love, it is a challenging process. It can be very painful, and it can be heartbreaking, because in order for your heart to expand, in a way, it has to stretch, kind of like a muscle. It has to like break and make you sore and make you go through pain, and then inevitably it's going to eventually make you feel like more love, because you're expanded, you can hold greater capacities. And this always goes back to as well, like often what happens after a beautiful expansion in your life, you might have a very strong contraction because you felt that massive expansion, and then it's like, okay, let's hone in and let's like rest for a little bit. So just remember that as well during this process of expanding into greater amounts of love, as a healer, as a leader, as a light worker, light being, somebody who's here on a greater purpose on this earth. You are not normal. You are not built the same as most people. Like, you have a different frequency, a different body, a different capacity. So as I mentioned, most people will stay in this mediocre zone, in this zone of like, this feels comfortable, I'm gonna sit here and just chill. But it's like, no, you're out here, you're expanding and expanding and expanding, so that you can access greater amounts of love, your dream life, your dream self. Like oftentimes, growth for ourselves, it's crunchy, it's hard, it is like icky in the moment. But then once you expand and you like become that new version of you, you're like, oh my God, like that was so worth it. And so this just goes back to, again, that snowstorm. The reason I use that analogy is I feel it's like what I see with a lot of us. It's like we can't see what's on the other side because there's so much snow in the way, and it's like we're trying to make it through, but it's challenging. But it's to remember, like, take the time you need, pull over, feel the energy, transmute it, and then get back on the freaking road and expand into more love. That's really what I see. And again, you are here for so much love in your life. 5D is love, New Earth is love, and you are holding greater capacities of it, which is such a gift. So yeah, hope you enjoyed though. If you did, definitely share this with somebody you feel it would help impact them. And if you're interested, down below, I do one-on-one calls to help you step into your mission, your power, your purpose as a light worker, as somebody on the awakening path. So if you want to book, down below, I do light language activations, and I also do intuitive soul guidance sessions. So would love to meet you and have you here. Definitely subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!